So we can have multiple apps, and I already mentioned that we control different parts of the HTML code. Now, of course, it should be needless to say that you shouldn't control the same HTML part with different apps. And you also can't use one app to control multiple HTML parts. It's one HTML part per app. And also the term HTML part or controlled HTML is not entirely correct, though I used it because I think it's easy to understand. The official term is template. By mounting your app, your Vue app, to a certain place in the DOM, in the HTML code, you make that part of the HTML code the template of that Vue app. So this section is the template of our first Vue app, which is mounted with this selector to this section. And that other section is the template of our second Vue app. And I'm emphasizing this because we're also going to hear about the term template later again. There also are different ways of defining your template of an app. This here is definitely the most common and most convenient one. Writing HTML code and then mounting your application to it, this makes a lot of sense. But actually, it's not the only way of adding a template. And I want to show this here at the example of app 2. You can also add a template to a Vue app by adding the template option to your app configuration object. This template option wants a string. And to write multi-line strings with ease, I will use backticks here. Really just so that I can write multi-line code. So these are not single quotes, that's a backtick, which is a different character on your keyboard. And now we could, for example, grab this paragraph here and cut it from the HTML file and instead add it in this string here. This now is the template of this second app. And actually this was the template before as well. We controlled this section, so anything inside of the section was our template. Now I'm just defining this differently. Now we still need to mount this app because Vue still needs to know where to display this template with the actual value for favorite meal when it is rendered on the screen. So we still need to mount it, otherwise Vue wouldn't know where to add this paragraph on the page. But with that, if I saved it and reload, you'll see the same output as before. The template is just defined differently. Now in reality, you will most often use the approach we used thus far. We get nicer syntax highlighting there, it's easier to understand, and there is no great reason for using this string-based template. We will, however, learn about a different way of defining a template and of writing Vue code in general in a couple of modules. Not a drastic change, but a nicer way of doing that. So that's also why I'm emphasizing this template part right now already. For the moment, just be aware of this template concept and that of course there's nothing wrong with the approach we used before, but that with that approach, we in the end made all the content of the Vue controlled HTML part the template of that app that controlled that part.